sweet treats and merry eats. You are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Mike TV.
And that's Jen Diz.
Today we are thrilled to kick off a special holiday happy hour with none other than Ashley Kraft, the incredible author of the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Oh my gosh, we normally can't do this because Zoom has that lag.
It's hard to
and
harmonize.
We're in person.
We're harmonizing in person for this very special Merry Christmas Day episode.
That is right. Today is Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. And it's also the first day of Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah.
Is it?
It is.
Happy Hanukkah, y'all.
Both on the same day. Isn't that cool?
We love that.
But yes, we are very excited because we have some cooking to do today.
Yes, you know what? Let's get cooking with Ashley.
Let's do it. All right, Ashley, welcome to the Disney Holic Show. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. How are you guys?
Excellent.
Very good. Happy holidays. Also, Merry Christmas. This episode will be coming out on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Merry Christmas. So you are the author of the Unofficial Disney Parks Holiday Cookbook, as well as many others that I would like you to tell us all about. But we're going to focus on the holidays because it is Christmas today, after all. And first of all, we are considering this a happy hour because we have all brought our drinks. And we have a cheers to Ashley and cheers to the holidays.
What are you guys having? I feel like our drinks look similar. What are you drinking?
All of our Disney Holics, yes. We actually took a recipe straight out of your book to make this drink today. This is the Jettison juice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you have this one in here. This is from the ABC Commissary in Disney's Hollywood Studios for May the 4th celebration, which I love. So this is an image of the book we are looking into, Ashley's book. Whoa, I completely didn't
also
see it.
Right behind us.
And it's right behind us if you didn't see it. There we go.
But we need to know all about the person who put all these recipes together. So, Ashley, you grew up in Anaheim Hills, pretty close to Disneyland. Yep. Later in life, you did some internships at Disney World, eventually created a very popular blog, unofficialtastetester.com. And then now, today, we're talking about the follow-up to your already published book, Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook, because we're here to talk about not just holidays as in winter holidays, but this whole book is all about holidays. So again, welcome to the show. As someone who is also sounds like a Disney holic, tell us a little bit about your love for Disney and what it's been like growing up near the parks as it evolved.
Yeah, so like you just informed everyone, I grew up in Anaheim, so I lived really close to Disneyland as a kid, and it was just a very casual thing. We always had passes, and so we would go to Disneyland just to go on one ride or have one treat or something. So it was really like laid back, which, spoiler alert, that's how I still like to enjoy the parks, is like on a very casual scale. But that was like where my love of Disney started. And then when I went to college, I saw a presentation about the Disney College program, and I had thought, oh, that sounds really, really fun. I would love to do that. So I did a program at Walt Disney World. My first program was in attractions, and I worked on Expedition Everest. And then I had such a great time that I applied to come back again, and I did concierge at Old Key West and Saratoga Springs resorts.
Ooh.
And that was really, really great. I loved it. And after that, I got married, had kids, and just was kind of taken away from where the Disney parks were, but I still wanted to have Disney in my life. And I felt like I was such a huge Disney fan that I had just so much knowledge and passion for Disney that was bursting out of me, that I wanted to have a project that involved that. And that's when I had the idea to write the first cookbook. And that was 4.5 years ago now. And yeah, it was an immediate bestseller. So obviously everybody else wanted that content too. And this, I believe, is my fifth Disney published book. So
Wow, amazing. Well, congrats on the whole journey.
thank you.
A couple of things really made me think about us as Disneyholics, which was the way you talked about sort of the casual visiting of the parks. We call that AP brain,
Yep.
which
So
stands for
annual pass holder brain. And
Good
I
one.
I was not as lucky as you because I only discovered this version of visiting the parks in my 30s or something. I like way later because I have never lived close to the parks. I've never been able to kind of get there that often until later in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty jealous of that, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it's a problem though now because I'm currently not in an annual pass at either coast, so that's weird for me. But when I have gone in the past couple of years and haven't had annual passes, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Like, because I do have that AP brain. You're right. Like, I'm just let's just relax and like look at things. Let's just people watch for a little while,
of
and
the best.
everyone else is like, which I get that.
Yeah.
I'm that side too. Like, I'm a huge planner, of course, so like I know how to do everything and how to do it right, but there's just nothing like enjoying the parks on your own time and just relaxing and taking in more than just the attractions. It's like getting to plan out what foods you want and then sitting and
Yeah.
enjoying them rather than like wolfing them down. So that's the vibe that I like.
We love that.
I agree. So question for you. What are some things that make you passionate about Disney parks? Like, is it the food and beverages that get you really excited? The attractions? Where does that all land?
Well, as I sort of alluded to, I just feel like it's the combination, like almost the intersection between all of those. The fact that you can enjoy all of them in the same vacation. I gravitate towards Disney or even just theme park vacations elsewhere because it's like it almost pre-plans itself. Like you know that you're going to spend the whole day there and that there's going to be activities for the whole family the whole day, and whether or not that's going on rides or watching shows or whatever, it's the whole encompassing of it. Like I went to Disneyland Paris twice in the last couple of years, and it's like that almost sounds silly to other people because it's like you're in Paris, like do something else. Like you go to Disney all the time, try something new. And it's like I am trying other stuff too, but there's something so special about being able to go to one location and have your whole day ready to go. Like as a mom of three, that's important to me to be like, I know that I can walk through this gate and that we will be here the whole day and then walk out the gate at the end of the day fulfilled, that we had enjoyed our day. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
Absolutely. And I don't think I've ever really thought of it that way, but
I think people think of it the opposite. Like people get overwhelmed by it. Like they're like, there's too much to plan inside of it. But for me, that's like my comfort zone. So that's why I like it.
Yeah. So how do you then decide to start checking out some of the seasonal ticketed events that kind of are around the holidays? When did that happen? And sort of more about the passion of food and beverages, because there's a lot of exclusive things there. What do you think about that?
So I went to my first ticketed event. It was Oogie Boogie Bash, I think the first year it released. So when was that?
It's a good one.
I think it was
not that long ago.
Yeah, not too long before the pandemic, right? I think it was.
Yeah. It must have been 2019 or something like that, like pretty close to that. But it was because my oldest son was finally old enough to go. And so it's hard to take littles to the ticketed events because they go so late. And the really the magic of it is staying until the very end. And so it wasn't worth it for us as a family to go before then. And at that time, like now I like to go with girlfriends to ticketed events, but at the time I wasn't working in books, so I wasn't doing that. But so I took my son, who I think at the time was like 7, so he was still pretty young to Oogie Boogie Bash, and it was so much fun. Like, I was just obsessed, and I was trying to explain to my husband why it was worth it, and he was just like, I don't get, like, you just paid more to go to Disney, like, what? I'm like, no, you don't get it. And then I sent him and my daughter just like last year to Mickey's Not So Scary, and he said, I get it, I totally get it, like, it's I'm a convert, like, I'm obsessed. Like, it was so much fun. And he's not even like a Disney person like I am. And so that meant a lot to me for him to say that.
Amazing. It's cool how it's almost a completely different experience that you can only get during that time. And there's still so much to do during ticketed events that we still never do all of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You mentioned friends and family a lot, and I know that's core to even like cooking and eating. So tell us about two specific people who I noticed you had on your dedication, which are Haley and Ariel. So there's a dedication to them on one of the first few pages. Tell us about those friends and how they're part of sort of your Disney and cooking experience.
Okay, sure. They'll love that you're mentioning them. So they were actually my good friends from the Disney College program. So they were from my first college program, and we were there in 2010. So that is dating me, but it was awesome. It was really great. We got to know each other then, and we remained friends for a while. But then we didn't have a falling out. We just had lives went in other directions. We all, we got married or got jobs and all that kind of stuff. And so we just sort of drifted apart for 12 years. And then one of the friends, Haley, she said, we should get together and go to Disney World together. And this was like
great plan.
2 years ago. Like, so just recently, it was after I had started writing the books again.
Wow.
Started writing the books. And so we met up at Disney World and just completely reconnected, and now we're just besties again. And they have really helped me to, like, a lot of people don't realize all the work that goes into the like introductions to the recipes and the head material of the book. I know like it takes a lot of skill to write recipes, but it also takes a lot, like all those, I write I write the whole book 100%. Like, I do the recipes and I do the information, but all of that is typically from my own mind. Like, I know all of this, like all these facts and things is stuff from my own experiences that I didn't have to research. I just know off the top of my head. And it's been so amazing to have these Disney friends who I can bounce those ideas off of and ask if they had similar experiences or what they encountered, and to kind of have a collaboration in that way. So they have assisted me in the last couple of books, but I just wanted to give them a shout out for coming along to the parks with me, and we've now, since that reunion, have done several more trips together to Disney. So it's been great.
Well, shout out to Haley and Ariel. Let's talk more about the book, because the way you described how you wanted to write it, I think came through right away. And what I found so unexpected is I was reading it like a book, like left to right. With the cookbook, normally I just pick out some recipes and then look them later. But all that stuff at the head of the book was so interesting and personal and got me hyped up to see which recipes to pick. So kudos there.
That really warms my soul. I feel like nobody reads it. I think that everybody skips it. And so anytime I hear people mention something from the head chapters of the book, I'm like,
we read it. We read it, actually. And then the other part that I loved is there's a format that you used to introduce all of the different tools that you're going to be using in the rest of the recipe book.
Right.
And there was something about the way you chose the placement and the graphics that reminded me of being a kid and learning about stuff that you're about to use and whatever that's next. But it wasn't talking down at all. It was fun. It was still for grown-ups. Anyways, I just really loved it. And then that got me hyped. And then the hardest part was deciding which recipes are we going to cook before we meet Ashley, because there were so many that we tagged.
So many. I did want to mention one more section I
Yeah.
really liked at the front of the book, and it's how Disney does holidays. And you mentioned all the holidays that Disney parks celebrate and what that means to Disney parks, as well as what the holiday is in general. And I
Yeah.
think that's also really good. It was very inclusive and very good to have that information for people that may be interested in Disney parks that may not really know all the things about these holidays. So that was really, thought that was super thoughtful and intentional. I thought that was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the book, but I personally visited the Disney parks in the last 2 years for each of these holidays. So
So cool.
I probably visited. So I live in Minnesota, if you didn't know that, and I visited either coast probably almost every month or every other month for 2
Ooh, wow, very
in
cool.
order to research this book, because I knew it was going to be like, it wasn't something that I could just say, okay, well, I've been to such and such, I've been to ABC Commissary before, so I know what kind of stuff they have. It's like, well, I haven't been there during May the 4th, so I have to go. Like, it was a lot of work, and so I appreciate you pointing that out, because I do feel like they were my own experiences and not just things that exist, but things that I was there for. And I love that it's almost like a journal to myself, because I get to relive the experiences that I had.
That's
Right.
cool. And what a fun way to plan a trip with a mission
Right.
to get to hit up all these different foods.
Yeah. You
That's
should see my
another-
documentation for trips. It's pretty intense. I usually bring 1 or 2 friends with me on research trips, and I will pay for them because they're my research assistants. I'm hiring them to work for me. So
That's so cool.
it's definitely the funnest work on the planet, but it's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We get that too.
So one more time for the people in the back that are listening or watching, this is not just a Christmas book. Again, that was the thing that we got so excited about when we started really looking through it, was that there's stuff that you can cook all year in this book.
Mhm.
Very cool. So, again, very hard to pick some of them out, but we thought we would let you and our listeners in on the recipes that we chose and how it went.
Yeah.
We haven't finished them all yet, but we'll go ahead through the ones that we did do. We first kicked it off because we both are first of all, big Coco fans, big Magic Kingdom fans, and big Day of the Dead and Halloween fans. So we picked the Un Poco Loco tots. Now, these were from the Dia de los Muertos celebration at Magic Kingdom at Friar's Nook. It seems like deep cuts, like Friar's Nook.
Yeah, because at first we thought, oh, maybe this is California Adventure. And then we looked and we're like, okay, this is special at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Friar's Nook is like the Tots Palace. If you're going to find specialty tots, they're almost always
Oh,
that.
see, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
Very good point. It was so good. It was so easy to make, and then it turned out so pretty. All you have to do is like plate it really nicely, and it looked amazing, like just out of the cookbook.
it was like food, PORN. Can I say that?
yeah, you could say that. It's just the Disney
Corn.
It was like
Food corn.
cheese sauce. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, and we decided it was mostly our dinner. Like we just made a big old plate of it, and there was 3 of us just munching down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good one.
It was very good. And oh yeah, today is also the very beginning of Hanukkah when this episode airs. And so we went in today and had the latkes. Wait, what was the full name of it?
They had smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon latkes.
And we made it from scratch. We hash browned the potatoes with a cheese grater. We did the onions, fried them up. Got some good Norwegian smoked salmon. It was also giving me a little bit of like frozen vibes because of the salmon, the Norwegian salmon, and having it
2 for 1. Yeah.
So delicious. And this one is found at the L'Chaim Holiday Kitchen for Hanukkah. I'm assuming, if I get this correct, was this at Epcot at one of the booths?
Yep. L'Chaim is one of the Festival of the Holidays booths.
Oh, very cool.
Super, super cool.
Yeah. Wow, we made a festival food.
We did.
Epcot festival.
Oh yeah, that's really cool actually now they're like put that together.
All right.
And then we have our jettison juice today.
Yes.
And I just turned the page, but we said earlier where it was from. Do you remember? I already forgot.
Yes, it was
ABC
from
Commissary.
May the 4th. That's
at
right.
ABC Comics
That's right.
Hollywood Studios.
So we made this, and then we have one left to go. We haven't had time to get to yet, but we're going to make the peppermint sundae from Christmas time in Disneyland from Gibson Girl. It's so
Ooh,
cute.
yum.
Like, one of my favorite
So
little
good.
places.
That'll be tonight before bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Do you have any favorites in the cookbook, or maybe any family friends that cook something that have favorites?
Of course I have favorites, but just like my children, I can't. No, I'm just kidding. The one that I always mention, it's because I feel like I have to point it out, like give it a shout out, because I think people are going to pass it up, is the Sweet Sand cookies from May the 4th that were sold at the milk stand at Disneyland only. And they are a Gideon's style cookie that have
Who loves it?
pistachio and toffee pieces in them. And I'm really proud of these because, first of all, I thought, oh, I'll just make them like how Gideon's makes them. Gideon's like really guards their cooking process. There is like, it's locked down. So you really I had to do so much research. There was an influencer event that influencers had got to go in the kitchens, and somebody had taken a photo or like a 1-second video in the kitchen, and I did a still grab to try and see what the form was of the cookies before they went in the oven. Like, this is how serious I was about it. But I'm really proud about how they came out, because the trick is having the chocolate chips be whole on top without melting, because when you put them in the oven, they have a molecular change, so they're going to melt. So even when they're cool, they will be melty. So I had to try and figure out how to make the chips stay solid while baking. So I think I did a good job. So you'll have to try them and let me know if you like that kind of cookie.
And is your secret to doing that described in the book?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So we might try that.
Ashley, you just like literally made my day, because when those cookies were out, I'm a huge Gideon's fan, but I'm a West Coast girl. So we have that over there. And when I saw those all over Instagram and social media that it was out in Batu, I tried and I did not make it in time. So
it was such a limited release.
Yeah, and they're already gone. I was so bummed because I did want to try them, especially because they weren't actually Gideon's. I wanted to see like, how did that transfer over to this Disney Parks version of that?
Do they normally have cookies? That only makes sense to have something
cookies
to
and
dip.
milk, right?
Yeah.
I would not dip that in the milk.
I know, it's not even milk.
Like, oh, I mean, go for it. Do whatever you want, but I'm not doing that.
Yes, I'm definitely going to try these out. Now I'm very excited to know that they are.
And I do have a video on my Instagram making them.
Nice.
So
perfect.
if you want to see a video, it's not really a step-by-step. It's more of a like cutesy video, but it does show the process and the final product. So you can look that up on my Instagram reels.
Thank you. I will definitely be checking that out. So real quick, we know about the holiday book. So can you tell us real quick about the other versions of the Unofficial Disney Parks cookbooks that you've made?
Yeah, absolutely. I have them all near me, but I don't know if they'll show up on here. But so the first book I published is the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook. So I wrote that in the beginning of 2020, and it's when the parks were closed, height of the pandemic, all that kind of stuff. And I only thought that I would write one book. I did not think that this was going to become a series. I didn't think it was going to be popular. This was a pet project for me as a stay-at-home mom. And I did not realize that it would take off like this. I believe now it has sold probably around 700,000 copies. Wow. So pretty amazing that it was a pet project to a full-time job. So
seriously.
Very proud of that book. And then my subsequent books. So the second book is the Unofficial Disney Parks Drink Recipe Book, which is where my drink is from. So this is like, I need to have like a nope. That straight up got worse. That's even whatever. You can see it, right?
Yes.
This is a variation on the High Tower Rocks, which is sold at Nomad Lounge. So I don't know if you guys, I know you're Disney holics, but I don't know if you are deep cuts. But do you know Harrison Hightower III?
Yes.
Are you
See,
SEA
SEA,
fans?
baby. Yeah.
Is that the Tokyo version?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is an ode to Joe Rohde, and which is, he created Nomad Lounge and Tiffin's, and so they put this drink on the menu in honor of him, and so it's called the Hightower Rocks, and it normally is made with watermelon juice, but I did a holiday twist, and it is with a cranberry peach juice. So, and then I
Ooh.
have cranberry and rosemary ice cube in
Whoa.
my drink. So pretty
Fancy.
festive, right? Cute.
Absolutely.
So the drink recipe book is great, and then the next book is the Unofficial Disney Parks Epcot Cookbook. So that has a lot of it's mostly the eating around the world, with some festival favorites sprinkled in, but not the holiday stuff. And then the next book is the Unofficial Disney Parks Restaurants Cookbook. So that's anything that you can get at a sit down, not including snacks and treats. So the first book is basically snacks and treats. That's just kind of like I said, I thought that was the only book I was going to write. So it was like just the most iconic, like Disney food items. And that's a lot of snacks and treats.
Into the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think of the restaurants book as sort of a companion to the first book, that they're sort of mirrors of each other. And then the holiday book just came out in September. So, and as you guys have talked about, that's holidays throughout the whole year from January through December. It's not just Christmas, not just Halloween. Lots of fun things to host and celebrate throughout the whole year.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about the drink book. I need to grab that one too, because I've been making more and more drinks, especially mocktails, which I'm assuming if it's Disney parks, there's probably a decent amount of mocktails in there too. So
absolutely. The funny thing is that I actually didn't drink alcohol when I wrote the book. So all the cocktails in the book were made by a mixologist, and I did all the writing. But all the rest of the recipes I did. So there's only a handful of cocktails, and the rest are all non-alcoholic. So
nice. There you go.
Yeah. So any alcoholic recipes in any of my books were actually done by a mixologist separately, since I just started drinking last year. So so they didn't want me making the recipes for that.
right. Excellent.
Well, what's next for you? What's on the horizon?
So I actually have a book that is in the works, but it is not a Disney book. So I'm hoping that all my Disney fans will follow me into my next project. But it is it's a family cooking book that it's recipes that you can create together as a family. So it's really fun, and it has tips on how to involve kids of all ages in the kitchen, and so I think that'll be great. I'm already done with the writing process on that, and I'm in edits and photography. So that will be coming out probably next fall. So not for a little bit, but that'll be fun when it comes out.
That's cool. Well, where can people who are listening or watching get your books, and how else can they find you if they want to see more from Ashley Craft?
So if you want a collection of all my books, you can find them on Amazon. If you type in Ashley Craft, it'll show up with a whole list of all my books in all of its formats. You can also go to simonandschuster.com and type in Ashley Craft, and it will have all my works there. If you want the holidays book, it's actually in most stores. So it is on shelves at Target, Walmart, pretty much any big box retailer. They also have them like at Michael's, like a lot of random stores right now across the holidays. So if you see it, pick it up, and you'll remember me from this episode.
Yes, you can say you heard it here first on the Disney.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Both personal friends now.
Yes.
Very well. And anyone who is purchasing a book, I highly recommend getting the hardcover if you can, because it really is one of these books that you want to touch and feel and open and read, and hopefully even like pass down into your library of cookbooks.
It also sits well for, some like books like kind of want to close again, especially paperback if you do paperback, but like this one sits open, which is super important for cooking. right? So
Yeah, so whoever did your spine work and all
Yeah.
that, great job.
Such good spine work. Incredible spine work. I keep a book stand in my kitchen so that I can have it open to whatever recipe I'm working on. So
oh,
Okay.
very smart, very smart.
pick up the book and pick up a book stand and gift it to all the Disney fans in your life.
There you
That's
go.
actually a really
The
good
perfect
Disney
Christmas gift.
option. Yep.
Absolutely.
And then if people wanted to find you and follow along with you on like social media and stuff, how can they find you?
Yes, please. I'm most active on my Instagram, Unofficial Taste Tester. So it's at Unofficial Taste Tester. I love hearing from everybody there. So shoot me a DM if you want to say hi and let's connect. I usually just post a lot of food content on there. So come and say hi.
Excellent.
Well, it was so wonderful having
I know.
you and talking about your cookbook and your Disney-holic relatability, because we're all Disney-holics here at the end of the day.
Yes. And once again, happy holidays to you and cheers to
Thank you.
all the new
Cheers.
recipes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Our Sunday we're having later tonight. Cheers.
Cheers. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Well, that was lovely. The food all turned out amazing thanks to Ashley's amazing book.
Yes, and I need to make a whole bunch more.
Yes.
That I have already bookmarked.
Seriously, but my
There's a lot of good
tummy
ones.
is full for now with all these delicious treats. Whew. So thank you once again, Ashley, for joining us, and I hope you all grab a copy of her book and get cooking at home.
Well, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed episode 221 of the Disney Holics Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you want to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Ho, ho, ho.
Whoa!
Okay, bye.
Bye.